Years ago, my heart pounding, looking at people who believed in me more than I believed in myself. I realized then that my problem wasn't a lack of talent. It wasn't a lack of opportunity. My problem was that I was a convenience person. I only did what I needed to do when I felt like it. If the sun was shining and my coffee was hot, I was a lion. But the moment the clouds rolled in, I went back to sleep. And I'm here to tell you, if you want to make your mark, you've got to move from being a convenience person to being a committed. You've got to stay disciplined when the feeling of the motivation has left the room. The battle of the two selves, you see, my friend, before you can ever hope to conquer the world, before you can ever hope to lead a company or raise a family or build a legacy that outlives your physical presence on this earth, you have to win the war that is raging inside of you right now. Every single morning, when you open your eyes and the light of a new day hits your face, there is a battle that commences. It's a civil war in the mind. There are two distinct people living inside your skin, and they are fighting for the steering wheel of your life. On one side, you have your higher self. This is the version of you that was created in the image of greatness. This is the you that has the vision, the you that wants to be a provider, the you that wants to walk across a stage and hear people cheer because you changed their lives. This version of you understands that you were not born to just pay bills and die. It knows that you have been given seeds of potential that, if cultivated, can feed thousands. This self wants to get up at 50 Hodoram. It wants to eat the right foods. It wants to study the books. And it wants to stay disciplined because it knows the value of the prize at the end of the race. But then, ladies and gentlemen, there is that other person. Let's call him the lower self. We all know this person intimately. This is the version of you that is governed by the senses and the immediate environment. This is the self that says, it's too cold outside to run today. This is the self that says, just one more episode, just one more scroll through social media, just one more bite of that food you know is killing your energy. The lower self doesn't care about your legacy. It doesn't care about your mother's retirement or your children's education. The lower self only cares about comfort. It wants to keep you in the safe zone, which is really the dead zone, because nothing grows there. Discipline is the act of consciously choosing which one of these two people you are going to feed, because whichever one you feed is the one that is going to grow. If you keep feeding that lower self, if you keep giving in to the cravings, the laziness and the excuses, that version of you will become a giant. It will become so strong that it will eventually hijack your entire life. And you'll find yourself 20 years down the road wondering, what happened to my dreams? You'll be full of welda, kulda, shulda, and that, my friends, is a weight that will crush your spirit. I remember when I was a young man, struggling to believe I was more than a DT or mentally retarded. I had to realize that my mind was like a garden. If you don't discipline yourself to plant the flowers of positive thought and the seeds of action, the weeds of doubt and procrastination will grow automatically. You don't have to do anything to grow weeds. They just show up. Negativity and lack of discipline are like weeds. They don't need an invitation. They thrive on your neglect. You've got to start talking to yourself. You've got to have a come to Jesus meeting with that lower self. When you're lying in bed and that voice says, you're tired, you worked hard yesterday, stay in bed, you have to be disciplined enough to talk back. You say, wait a minute, you don't run this show. I have a commitment to my future. I have people counting on me. Get up. You have to be your own drill sergeant. You have to be the one who says, I love myself enough to be hard on myself. Most people are too easy on themselves. They give themselves a pass for every little ache and pain. But I'm telling you, if you are easy on yourself, life will be hard on you. But if you are hard on yourself, if you stay disciplined, if you fight that battle of the two selves and win, then life will be very easy on you. You have to develop the mental toughness to look your comfort in the eye and say, you are my enemy. Because comfort is the thief of greatness. Every time you choose the higher self, you are casting a vote for the person you want to become. It's not about being perfect. It's about being persistent. It's about winning more battles than you lose. It's about realizing that your character is forged in those quiet moments when nobody is watching, and you have to decide whether to keep your word to yourself or to take the easy way out. Choose the higher self, feed the lion, starve the sheep, win the battle within, and the world will have no choice but to bow to your discipline. The power of no, if you want to live a life that matters, if you want to stand out from the crowd and reach a level of success that most people only dream about, you have to develop a specialized kind of courage. It's not the courage to run into a burning building or the courage to face a physical giant. It's the quiet, firm, and unwavering courage to say no. You see, discipline isn't just about what you do. It is defined by what you refuse to do. We live in a world that is designed to distract you. We live in a society that is constantly pulling at your sleeve, shouting for your attention, and trying to sell you a version of life that is shallow and empty. If you don't have the discipline to say no, your yes will eventually mean absolutely nothing. I want you to understand that your no is the guardian of your lies. When you say yes to a dream, when you say yes to a business, when you say yes to a healthy body, you are making a sacred vow. But that vow is under constant attack. People will come to you with opportunities that are really just distractions in disguise. Friends will come to you wanting to hang out, wanting to waste time, wanting to talk about other people because they don't have anything significant to talk about in their own lives. And if you don't have the discipline to say, no, I can't do that, you are essentially saying no to your own future. You are sacrificing your greatness on the altar of being liked. I remember when I was starting out, trying to get my voice heard, I had to make some very painful decisions. I had friends I grew up with, people I loved, people I had spent years with on the street corners and in the parks. But as I began to grow, as I began to discipline my mind and my speech, I realized that we were no longer speaking the same language. They wanted to talk about the game. I wanted to talk about the goal. They wanted to talk about who was doing what to whom. I wanted to talk about how I could serve more people. I had to learn to say no to those associations. And let me tell you, it hurt. It felt lonely. They called me big-headed. They said I thought I was better than them. But I wasn't being arrogant, I was being protective. I knew that my dream was like a flickering candle in a windstorm, and if I didn't shield it from the no men and the dream snatchers, it would be extinguished forever. You have to realize that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If you are around 4 broke people, you are bound to be the 5th. If you are around 4 people who have no discipline, no drive, and no vision, it won't be long before you start making excuses just like they do. Discipline means you have to audit your life. You have to look at your phone contacts, look at your calendar, and look at your habits. And you have to start saying no to anything that doesn't align with the destination you've set for yourself. Saying no is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. At first, it's hard. You feel guilty. You feel like you're letting people down. But you have to ask yourself, whose life are you living? Are you living a life to satisfy the expectations of others, or are you living a life to fulfill the purpose for which you were created? You cannot please everybody and reach your goals at the same time. It is a mathematical impossibility. If you try to make everyone happy, you will end up being the most miserable person on the planet. You must also learn to say no to yourself. Say no to the impulse to complain. Say no to the urge to quit when things get difficult. Say no to the part of you that wants to settle for good enough. Discipline is the ability to maintain a state of no toward the distractions of the moment, so that you can maintain a state of yes toward the achievements of a lifetime. It's about creating a perimeter around your mind. You wouldn't let just anybody walk into your house and dump trash on your living room floor, would you? Then why do you let people dump their garbage opinions and their toxic energy into your mind? Why do you let the TV or the internet dump hours of useless junk into your brain? Stay disciplined by being selective. Be an elitist when it comes to your time and your energy. Your time is the only non-renewable resource you have. Once it's gone forever. You can get more money, but you can't.
Peace and love, 561. We live right now, man. You know what I'm saying? It's all about staying disciplined and you know what I mean? Don't let nobody just get inside something that you know make you feel wrong, make you feel bad, bro. You know that shit make you feel bad, man. Don't do it. I don't care who it is, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't care who it is, man. Don't be doing shit that make you feel bad, bro. Cause that shit don't sit well when you going through your emotions about the bad choices that you make, and you be like, you know what I'm saying, beating yourself up all the time about the shit. You know? Don't do it. Block it, man. I don't care who it is. It could be your kids, it could be siblings, friends. Stop doing stuff to make you contemplate about if you was wrong or right later. You know what I'm saying? Just make the right decision off the rip. You gotta guard that. You gotta guard your conscience. You gotta guard your care. You have to guard your care, you know? Because caring about the wrong stuff, man, tear your body up, tear your mind up. You know what I'm saying? It's just no good, man. And it's always gonna come at a high percentage of somebody close to you that make you feel like that. It's not gonna be nobody that you don't care about. You can't get that type of feeling from something that you don't care about. It's only ones that you truly care about that bring that type of unbalanced feeling inside of you. You know, staying disciplined is real serious, man.
Chinese bamboo tree. And I want you to hold this image in your mind whenever you feel like your discipline isn't paying off. When you plant the seed of that tree, you have to water it and fertilize it every single day. You do this for 1 year and nothing happens. You do it for a second year and you don't see so much as a green sprout. You do it for a third year, a fourth year, and still nothing. Your neighbors walk by and they laugh at you. They say, "Look at that fool out there watering the dirt again. He's been out there for 4 years and he hasn't moved an inch." Many people quit in the third or fourth year. They lose their discipline because they don't see the evidence. But for those who stay disciplined, something happens in the fifth year. In a period of just 6 weeks, that Chinese bamboo tree shoots up 80 feet into the air. Now, I ask you, did that tree grow 80 feet in 6 weeks? Or did it grow 80 feet in 5 years? The answer is obvious. If at any point during those 5 years that person had stopped watering and fertilizing that dirt, the tree would have died in the ground. It grew because of the discipline to do the work when there was no reward. It grew because of the grace in the grind. Some of you are in your second or third year right now. You're putting in the hours. You're making the sacrifices. You're staying disciplined with your budget or your diet. But your life looks exactly the same as it did a year ago. You feel like a failure. But I'm telling you, you aren't failing. You are building a root system. You are developing the character, the strength, and the mental toughness required to sustain the 80-foot success that is coming your way. If you got the success today without the root system of the grind, it would crush you. The grind is what makes you strong enough to handle the blessing. You have to learn to find joy in the mundane. Discipline is the ability to do the same thing over and over again with the same level of enthusiasm. It's the athlete who does 1,000 free throws when the gym is empty. It's the writer who sits at the desk for 4 hours even when the words aren't flowing. It's the entrepreneur who makes 50 no calls just to get to 1, maybe. You see, the grind is where the transformation happens. It's not the trophy at the end that changes you. It's the person you become while you are working for the trophy. The discipline of the grind polishes you. It knocks off the rough edges of your character. It burns away the laziness and the entitlement. When I was trying to break into the world of broadcasting, I didn't have a job, but I had a discipline. I would go to the radio station every day. I would watch the DJs. I would practice my patter in the mirror until my eyes burned. I would offer to go get them lunch, to clean the floors, to do anything just to be in the environment. I was grinding. I didn't have a paycheck, but I had a purpose. I stayed disciplined because I knew that It is better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have an opportunity and not be prepared. Most people wait for the opportunity to show up before they start the discipline. It doesn't work that way. You have to be in the grind long before the door opens. You've got to tell yourself, I'm not working for the result. I'm working for the growth. When you shift your mindset from when will I get it to who am I becoming, the grind becomes easier to handle. You start to realize that every disciplined action is a deposit into your greatness account. You might not be able to withdraw the interest today, but that account is growing. Don't let the silence of the soil fool you. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not happening. Stay in the kitchen. Keep the heat on. Keep watering your seeds. There is a grace in the persistence. There is a beauty in the struggle. And if you don't give up on the grind, I promise you, the grind will not give up on you. Your 5th year is coming, and when it hits, the world will call you an overnight success, but you'll know better. You'll know it was the discipline in the dark that brought you to the light, the discipline of the heart. Now, I want to take you somewhere a little deeper, because if we only talk about schedules, habits, and hard work, we're only scratching the surface of what it means to be a truly disciplined human being. We have to talk about the inner sanctum. We have to talk about the discipline of the heart. You see, you can have a perfectly organized calendar. You can be the first one in the office and the last one to leave, but if your heart is cluttered with bitterness, if your spirit is fractured by self-doubt, or if you are living a lie behind closed doors, your external discipline is nothing but a hollow shell. It's a house built on sand, and when the storms of life come, and they are coming, believe me, that house will come crashing down. True discipline begins in the place that nobody else can see. It begins with the promises you make to yourself when you are all alone. The most important relationship you will ever have in this life is the relationship you have with yourself. Every time you tell yourself you're going to do something, and you don't do it, you aren't just missing a goal, you're committing a crime against your own self-esteem. You are teaching your subconscious mind that your word doesn't matter. You are becoming a person who cannot be trusted by the most important person in the worldview. The discipline of the heart is about rebuilding that trust. It's about having the integrity to follow through on the commitments you made in the light when you find yourself in the dark. It's about doing the right thing, not because someone is watching, not because you're going to get a plaque or a promotion, but because it is the standard you have set for your soul. I remember times in my life when I was doing all the right things on the outside, but my heart was out of alignment. I was carrying around the weight of old grudges. I was letting the poison of the past seep into my present, and I had to learn that forgiveness is a discipline. Love is a discipline. Keeping your spirit clean is a discipline. You have to be the gatekeeper of your emotions. If you let every criticism get under your skin, if you let every setback send you into a tailspin of woe is me, you are not a disciplined person. You are a victim of your environment. A disciplined heart is like a thermostat, not a thermometer. A thermometer just reflects the temperature of the room. It goes up and down based on what's happening around it. But a thermostat sets the temperature. You have to decide that no matter what is happening out there, I am going to maintain a spirit of gratitude, a spirit of hope, and a spirit of integrity in here. This internal discipline requires a level of honesty that most people are afraid of. You have to be willing to look in the mirror and call yourself out. You have to say, Les, you're being lazy. Les, you're being petty. Les, you're letting fear run the show. And then you have to have the heart, discipline to change course. It's about the inner truth. Are you being the person you pretend to be on social media? Are you the same person in the dark that you are in the spotlight? If there is a gap between your public image and your private reality, that gap is where your power is leaking out. You will never have the audacity of faith to go after big dreams if you know deep down that you aren't being disciplined with your character. I want you to think about the people who have truly moved the world. They weren't just people with big muscles or big bank accounts They were people with big hearts and disciplined spirits. Think about Mother Teresa or Nelson Mandela.
Peace and love 561. We live right now, man. Dropping that discipline knowledge right now, man. Discipline. Discipline knowledge, man. Come on, man. Start your day off right, man. Give some knowledge, man. Give some love, you know. Make it better for somebody that's going through it, man. Show a little love to somebody that feel like you ain't showing them enough love. It's just extra effort, man. Extra effort, man, goes a long ways, man. I'm Peace and Love 561, man. Y'all have a great day.